Hey guys, when we start our coaching practices, we are filled with passion and enthusiasm and excitement to get out there and serve people. I know I was, and I'm sure you're the same way. And so when I started my coaching business, of course the goal is to find people that I can help transform, right? This coaching business doesn't work if you sit in your house by yourself or you sit behind a computer. You have to be with people, you have to talk to people, you have to listen to people, you have to connect with people, and people have to transform as a result of working with you. So I was doing that over the course of a couple years, and that has its own challenges. And you've probably seen this in your own life, in your own business as well, that sometimes having the passion for what you're doing is not enough to build your business. So you start learning different tactics, different strategies, you improve your methodologies, you improve your business acumen, your business skill set, and that allows you to get out there and connect with more people and serve more people. But at least what happened in my world is that I got to a point where serving people one-on-one in coaching, while fantastic and while I felt like I was doing incredible work in the world, people were getting amazing results, I started to make better and better money as I was doing longer and longer, I noticed there was a disconnect in how I was feeling about my business. And I realized the disconnect for me was actually not that I needed to make more revenue, it's that I needed to have more impact. I got into this job, I got into this profession to touch as many people's lives as possible, to help transform as many people's lives as possible. And I was feeling like some part of that was missing by focusing solely on one-to-one coaching. So I started asking myself, how could I make a bigger impact? How could I make a bigger difference? And I would do things like speaking, and I would speak to audiences, and I would do keynote speeches and trainings. But even doing that, while I knew it had some kind of impact in the hour or the 90 minutes I was on stage, it still didn't have the depth of impact that I wanted. I didn't have the evidence of transformation that I would typically have one-on-one with people. So I started facing this kind of dilemma in my business. How do I really reach more people? How do I facilitate more transformation over a longer period of time in a way that I don't burn myself out? Because there's only so much of us to go around. There's only so many hours in the day that we can sit with a person for an hour or 90 minutes or 2 hours, day after day after day, week after week after week, and help to transform their lives. So the thing that naturally came up for me was, well, what if I create a course? Because naturally there are things that I'm coaching people on a regular basis that come up over and over again. A certain set of beliefs, a certain set of thoughts, a certain outcome they're looking for and how they want to feel about their lives, how they want a certain level of improvement in their relationships, how they want growth in their business. Maybe there's some way that I can impact people on a larger scale through something like a course. Well, it sounds good in theory, but of course then all of my enoughness stuff started coming in. Well, what if the stuff that I do with people one-on-one doesn't translate to a course? What if I have to be with people one-to-one in a private, sacred container of coaching for them to have some actual transformation? And so I said, well, what am I gonna do with this? I'm gonna do what I would invite any of you to do with anything you're doing in your business, test it. So I had to fumble through and figure this all out for myself, and I don't advise anybody to fumble all their way through and have all the failures that I had. But what I figured out was that it actually is totally possible to have the same level of transformation with the people you work with, the same level of impact, the same level of interaction and engagement with people in a course or in a group coaching program that I had one-on-one. So for me, when I finally kind of worked out the kinks in my mindset, got over this, I'm not good enough, I don't know what to teach, who am I to be doing this in the world? There's so many people doing courses. How could I possibly stand out and differentiate myself? When I got over all that stuff and just started testing being of service to people, started testing, systemizing it and codifying what I've done with people one-on-one and putting that into a group program, I realized that I could have all the impact that I wanted to have and I could scale my business at the same time. So for me, it was a massive turning point to say, now that I understand that I can have this kind of impact with people on a broader scale, I want to go all in and see what I can do to do this with as many people as possible, to really impact their lives. So look at your own business. Look at what's going on in your own business right now. Do you feel any of that same kind of feeling that I felt? Like you're doing great work, you're coaching people, you're feeling more and more confident in your skills as a coach as you do it more and more, but now you're saying to yourself, this is awesome. I'm making some money and I'm transforming people's lives and I love the work I'm doing. How do I do more of that without creating more of me? If that's something that you're feeling right now in your life and in your business, I would invite you to ask yourself, what could that next step be for you? Maybe it is some kind of an online course where you share your gifts and you share what you're an expert at and you share about the transformations you've gotten one-on-one with people on a larger scale. Maybe it's a group coaching program, but there's something that you can do here that leverages your genius, leverages your experience, leverages your time, and allows you to impact so many more people and increase your revenue at the same time. So what is that for you? Give some thought to it, grab a journal and write down what could be the thing for you that could be the next step in your business, the next evolution in your business, so you can increase your revenue, but also increase your impact and your transformation in the world.